Yo, 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 welcome back, welcome back. Happy
Happy
New Year's, everybody.
2025. I
Oh, let's
don't
go.
even know why I did like this. It's like how many fingers? 25 in the building.
Because AP's up to 2030 already. He's
Yo,
already,
FF. I'm in the future already.
that's it. 2035. He's already ahead. Happy New Year's, everybody, man. I hope everybody had a safe one. Man, the year flew by. I mean, we were just in the playoffs like 3 months ago. and now baseball's about to start in 2 months. Like it's
Oh
crazy.
man. We
Um
fast forwarded 25 already.
exactly. Shout out to everybody that celebrated a healthy and happy New Year's, man. I hope everybody had a safe one. Like I said, we are back with the first episode of the year for Seven Express podcast, the second episode since we started the brand. We wanted to do something a little bit different because I think AP can account to this. We are getting a lot of headaches from this Pete Alonso
You mean
bullshit.
being tired of just talking about is Pete Alonso ever gonna sign with
Yeah,
us again? Like, yeah, I'm
yeah,
tired of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit hectic, man. Everywhere you go, where's Pete gonna sign? Where's Pete going? Let's talk about something else, please.
Oh, for the love
Like the
of God.
offseason doesn't revolve around Pete Alonso. It doesn't. I've said it in if for those of you, follow me at Top Bunk Sports on YouTube, X, whatever. For those of you that saw my last video that I did before the year ended, where I spoke about where Pete Alonso, what he wants to do, I said that the Mets are good whether they have Pete here or they don't. They have options. I think Met fans are kind of losing sight of that. They have options. It's on David Stearns and Steve Cohen to be aggressive on those options if Pete doesn't come back and hit on them. That's it. That's what people got to understand. But I think people are, it's the fandom that's coming out of that. Like I said before, do I want Pete back here? Yes. But it's about the team on the front, not the name in the back. The name in the front, not the name in the back. I'm that's it. At the end of the day, if this brother wants to go to the Anaheim Angels and not see the playoffs for the rest of his fucking career, let that brother go get his money and go to California. Do it. Just do it. I don't give a shit. Go ahead and get me a replacement that is either the same or better than Pete
Well,
Alonso.
I
And if
mean, right now on X as we speak is literally a Twitter war
I don't know why.
over Vladimir Guerrero being traded here. So I mean, you know,
Listen, if y'all one of those out there that think that the Mets are gonna go after Vladimir Guerrero in a trade, I'm gonna tell you two reasons why that's dumb. Number one, you're not trading a good amount of haul for a rental. That's number one. You're not doing that. Number two, you're not paying a guy 400 to 500 million dollars when you already have a 765 million dude on your payroll. Yes, Steve Cohen does have money. Absolutely. Am I going to be mad if he adds that to the payroll? Absolutely not. But these guys are not idiots. They're not going to keep overspending. Okay, that tax hit, it comes in at some point. That
I
hurts.
mean the
That hurts.
price of platanos might go up like insane. It might be like $20 for one at that point. So good luck with
Exactly.
that.
I can't deal with that. I might as well start growing in my backyard if I have to.
It used to be like what, 6 for a dollar. Now it's like 6 for two. Not
It's
even. So
stupid. It's stupid. So people gotta. It's not about the prospects. It's not about what they can give up. At the end of the day, the Mets, if they want to go get him, they can go get him. It's about being smart and what the impact of that determines when he's here. That's it. Because then again, what people are gonna say is if he does come here, oh yeah, we want to change. We want to World Series with him. Cool. All right, cool. Now what if we don't? And then you're back to square one where you're like, yeah, we have to make the playoffs, but is he gonna be here? Is he gonna be here or not? Because number one, they probably don't want to offer him the money, and you just gave up a good amount of prospects or a haul of prospects that you could have used in that position and still worked on to
yeah.
get a guy that's probably not gonna come back. You know
But
what I'm
Top,
saying?
we said we weren't going to talk about it,
Sorry,
so we're not
I'm
talking.
sorry. I just hate this shit. It's
So
giving
we're not talking about it.
me
But we
headaches.
had a
But
cool concept
yes,
for this episode. If you want to talk about it,
yes. We are going to talk about the top 10 games, in our opinion, of 2024. Now, before we start going into that, it's like I said, our opinions. Okay, there are going to be
yes.
people that
Don't
may or
get mad at us if you had a better one and you're like, yo,
may.
how dare you? Now the reason why this is coming up, like I figured it's the beginning of the year. Everybody's into like doing these countdowns of 2024, and I don't know. 2024 is still fresh in our minds, and I think that it was a magical year. So, what better way to remember the last year, then go over the top 10 best games of the year. And the Mets had some incredible games. It felt
Unbelievable.
like there was playoff games from August all the way to the end. So there was a lot to choose from. We even had to like put two as honorable mention just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we couldn't just say, yo, forget these games, but there was a lot to choose from.
Yeah, so we'll get right into it. We'll get into the honorable mentions first, actually. So we can get those out the way, and then we'll go into number one. So the first one that we want to get into is the Mark Vientos homer against the Cardinals. Now, this one
Mm.
is very special because this one, as much as people,
It
want to
was like
talk,
a foreshadowing of what was to come.
yes, yes,
Even
that
though the Mets didn't get that memo and sent them straight back to purgatory, but you gotta love what Vientos did here.
Ninth. Fly ball, center field. Back goes Ciani to the warning track. Back at the wall. It's out of here. Mark Vientos wins the game for New York with a 2-run homer.
I love that the guy lost his glove. Like that also made me laugh.
that was great.
He made that jump and his glove popped off. That was awesome.
That was amazing. That's one that you just I wouldn't trade that moment for anything. The
I
funny
still
thing
don't
about that
understand. I still don't get why Vientos didn't come up from spring
after that,
training with
right?
the Mets. Like that JD
Listen,
wasn't even playing. It made no sense. I don't know.
this is a conversation that bro, listen, I will admit that I was one of them that said put Mark Vientos as a DH. I did. I mean, we went to the queue. Shout out to our other co-host that's not here. He's coming back from Florida from vacation, Chris
Drive
Torres.
safe, drive safe.
I was right. Have a safe trip, Brody. I was with him and our other fellow guys. Shout out to Tone from Queens Baseball. Shout out to Keith from Queens Baseball and Shane Sons. We were at a Q&A, a David Stearns Q&A in City Field, and they were asking him about, possibly
I was gonna
signing
say
JD.
you were ice grilling him like, yo, where's Vientos at?
You imagine they kicked me out.
Oh my god, you're out of here, fella.
We were waiting for that question, and one of the questions were from a fan. Do you look into signing JD Martinez? Before they announced it, they announced that like 2 weeks after the Q&A, and he basically said that he didn't think that he wanted to go that route. He wanted to use his young guys in Beatty and Vientos and have them switch within the third base position and within the DH spot in the lineup. So I didn't see the JD Martinez signing coming. But when he said that, I was like, yo, this is what I said. This is what I've been clamoring for. If you're gonna have Brett Beatty here and you're not gonna use him as a trade piece, let him play third base and let Mark Vientos be your DH because Mark Vientos has more power. Now,
Mhm.
granted, they ended up pulling the JD Martinez, bro, and then I was like, oh, okay, now they're saying fuck the kids at this point. I didn't know what the hell they were gonna do, but Mark
Yeah.
Vientos obviously showed his way, and earned his spot, and they never looked back. They never
And
looked
I
back.
think that was a really important thing that you said that he earned his spot. Like he earned every minute that he played. And I think
Right.
that was important for him to prove it not only to himself but to the organization that like I have this belief in myself that I belong here, and I'm gonna show you guys that I belong here. And he ran with the job, and he did his thing. 2024 was a coming out party for Mark Vientos, and this was his biggest like highlight to start off the
Mhm.
campaign with the Mets. And I thought that was a great way to like to make sure that like even though he was disappointed that he knew that he had deserved the shot from the jump from spring training, and he continued to produce. And what a year he had. Like like he surprised me with just playing at third base. Like I really thought that it was gonna be like a adventure, but he really played a really good third base. Like I wasn't mad at him for the most part. So shout out to him and what he did in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what that brother does for 2025, and I hope that if whether Pete's here or not, that at least Vientos can stay at third base and continue to show that he's earned, that he deserves to be in third base. Next honorable mention before we get into the countdown is one of my favorites. Shout out to the Pope / Rube from Queens Baseball. Shout out to Jane Fern from Queens Baseball. And shout out to Jay Customs, the owner of the Oh My God sign, who were at this game, who took the trip to go to this game, and they saw something very special.
Line drive left field, falling in, base hit by Lindor. Gamble scores. Bader rounding third. He scores. The throw is cut off on the way to the plate. The Mets take the lead with their backs against the wall.
Yeah. So that one,
and that was an important game because that got us over 500. The Mets had a horrible May, and they had pretty much buried themselves. And that was the first time the Mets were over 500 since. Were they over 500 in April? I want to say that they were over 500 at one point, but that felt like they were that got us over the 500 mark for the very long time, and that kind of like righted the ship at that point.
Yeah. I mean, again, it took a spark from Francisco Lindor to kind of get us into the nitty and gritty of things.
Man, speaking of like really good years, like.
Yeah,
Lindor basically carried us throughout this entire season. So
I mean,
that was just one of his magical moments.
Yeah, his back was legitimately hurting. So much.
I hope he iced it down after such a long year. Like he basically carried us and like said, "Come on, guys, we're going for a ride."
The spa treatments must be crazy. You think about that spa treatment bill?
I hope Cohen got to flip that bill because.
Yeah, no, honestly, pay his whole rent for the whole year. Pay the whole mortgage. So we'll get into the list of things. The first one that we're going to put
that number 10.
Actually, number 10. Yes, number 10. Oh my God, the number 10 one. We'll start off 10 from 10 all the way down to the lucky number 1. Number 10 is going to be this one right here, and I know a lot of you probably thought that another one that I will mention after this video was.
Can I give like a brief like introduction to it?
Go ahead.
So all right. So the funny thing about this is like this happened on my birthday. The Mets start off 0-4, right? 0-4. So my birthday, April 4th, the Mets have a doubleheader against the Tigers. And I'm thinking, well, today would be a nice day for them to win one. And game 1 looked like they were going to win it, and they blew it. And then I remember going back to Twitter, and people were like, oh, shit, it's your birthday? And then I remember Keith saying, damn, the Mets definitely don't like you or something like that. It was like, don't want to celebrate your birthday to that effect. I'm like, thanks, Keith. I appreciate it, you jerk. But I was like, yeah, they're ruining my birthday on this one. And then, like, I couldn't believe that they lost game 1. And I was like, oh, my God. But in true Met fashion, they come back in game 2, and they win it in the 9th inning with the thrilling one. So at least I got to see one win on my birthday.
You got to see that.
Yeah.
That's some dope shit. All right. So we'll play it for you guys right here. And yeah, it's this
after starting 0-5, by the way. 0-5.
Imagine the feeling of your team going 0-5 and you're wondering what is it gonna take for this team just to pull one out the hat.
And you see that the highlight right there that says
which
0
is the longest stretch they've gone in at least the last 50 years. A little surprised that A.J. Hinch left the lefty Holton in to face Bader, trying to end that hitless scheme. And he hooks one in the left field, coming in fast as Canna, but it drops for a hit.
Come on, Canna.
And after 13
former
innings
Met great Canna,
Harrison Bader snaps the streak
and
gets the Mets a base hit.
Swinging a little.
He could not get that one.
Left, charging, and Canna still coming. Front of them, base hit. And the Mets finally have their first hit of this game, their first hit in 13 innings. Last of the 9th inning. The Tigers won, the Mets nothing.
Right
the 0-1 on the way. Swinging a high
I still don't know
ball.
how Pete Alonso hit this home run.
The gap, pretty deep, back near the wall. It's gone! Pete Alonso ties it on a day where the Mets were starved and
famished offensively. Alonso breaks through and
Nobody
ties
was
this
there,
game
bro.
1-1.
There was nobody at that game.
Alonso has the 500th RBI of his major league career, the fastest man ever to reach that milestone in his 690th game. And he gets the Mets off the mat and ties the game at 1.
But right on time for this ball club, looking for a spark.
Doing it against his fellow Gator to get the Mets even. 3-2 to Beatty. Outside, ball 4, and now the potential winning run is on base.
And now here is Starling Marte. They don't expect the bunt. The first pitch he does bunt. Pushes it up the first base, fielded by Torkelson, and down to second goes Beatty, representing the potential winning run.
Taylor, the batter, trying to get Beatty home from second. Base hit down the left field line. Here comes Beatty around third. He will score, and the Mets have their first win of the season.
Put it in the books. The Mets are out at second base, mobbing Tyrone Taylor. Carlos Mendoza has his first win as a major league manager.
How awesome was Tyrone Taylor this year? Like, that was one of those under the radar kind of moves that people didn't really give Stearns too much praise for. But man, that dude came to play last year, man.
I mean, from what people know, what he did in Milwaukee, I think it was for us, like guys like us that really looked into it. We knew what he could bring to the table. But he provided more than that. It was a guy that was clutch at certain times. It was a guy that was great defensively at center field. And I think you could just see that he really vibed off what this team was bringing. And you know, it's one of those situations where now you have him for another season, and you can build with them. You can build with them. He can play your outfield in multiple ways, whether it's in right field, center field, left field, and he's versatile in that outfield. So and he could hit. So this is a guy that again I think is a special piece for the Mets. And he could definitely build going into 2025. The second one that we'll talk about is another one that I think was a spark in terms of not even, no Grimace involved. This is kind of what got the Mets to wake up. And this one's a special one because this one right here is from a guy that, again, really, I think you would say he was a spark plug to turn this whole thing around.
Now J.D. Martinez, who is 2 for 4 in his career against Scott. Lindor at first and 1 out, and J.D. takes up an away ball 1. Martinez set up the Mets' scoring chance in the 7th. He doubled down the left field line. Mets would load the bases with nobody out of the 7th, come away with 1 run on a double play grounder, but no more. 1-0 coming. J.D. takes a wild swing of the slider, and it's 1-1.
Those swings in the dirt would drive me crazy with this guy.
Went after a bad one.
Pete Alonso waits to hit next. Moore has not moved from first. Carrying the tying run with 1 out. Slide step by Scott, but he missed badly with the fastball, and it's 2-1.
Scott's quick home. Very quick home. That's probably why Lindor is not on the run here. You don't want to get picked off. You don't want to get thrown out. You're down a run. You got your big bombers up.
And a throw over. A snap throw by Scott. Not a lot of velocity on it. Lindor almost leading the wrong way. Martinez, who has 5 home runs on the year. There goes Lindor. J.D. takes a ball. The throw to second, not in time. And Lindor steals the base. 10th stolen base of the year.
It's crazy though. He got that off of Tanner Scott, right?
Yeah.
That's
when I heard Scott, I was like, oh man, it was off Tanner Scott.
Tanner Scott, like that's some crazy shit.
For Lindor, and now the tying run is in scoring position. A 3-1 count to Martinez.
He broke from the belt. He figured he wouldn't come over 2 in a row and easily stole the base.
That's second stolen base of the night. Now a base
Man,
hit
if
could tie the
wouldn't have
game.
gotten hurt.
3-1 to Martinez with Alonso on deck. And JD rockets one out to right center. Back in the gap goes Chisholm looking up, and it's out of here! JD Martinez wins it with a 2-run opposite field home run! For 36-year-old JD Martinez, that is the first walk-off home run of his major league career.
Wow.
I know, that's crazy.
Wow.
And the reason why that was an important game was because it kind of kept it kept the winning streak going. It kind of signified the ride that the Mets were going to be on all throughout the month of June, and they kept going throughout the end of the year.
Right. Like I said, it goes back to what I said before I played the video. He's a spark plug. That right there, that moment right there was a spark plug for them to just like, yo, we're still in this. Like, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that started everything. The next one that I want to talk about is a pretty funny one. It has a little bit of it has, I would say, you know when they say the lights are too bright or it's shining too bright, and it catches you in your face, and then it involves a guy that Met fans want to take his head and they just want to bash into the ground. It takes like it's funny how this shit works
against the team that we hate.
Like it literally, it just.
Oh, this is perfect. Everything about this is perfect drama.
You talk about how God is on your side. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a moment that you'll cherish forever, and everything involved, everything in it is so perfect. Like, you can't write these shits. I'm gonna go into it right now. And it needs to be talked about. It really does. It really does. 1 second. Here we go.
And he drives one to right field over toward the line. Long run for Laureano, and he Laureano ran too far. Coming home to score is Iglesias, and the Mets win it in 10, 3-2.
Oh man. Oh, that's bad. That's just it's music to my ears.
How he overran that is insane.
That's music to my ears. That's what it is. It's just
and just beating the Braves is always good. It always feels good.
Yeah, no, it's literally like it's the one of the if it's not the Phillies, it's the Braves. If it's not the Phillies, it's the Braves. So that one right there, because when he hit it, I was like, nah, he got that out. I thought like when he hit it off the bat, I was like, he got that out. Then you kind of see the ball kind of traveling slowly, and I'm like, okay, he got it, whatever.
I started feeling like, oh no, he's gonna catch the ball. When he dropped the ball, I was like, yo, he dropped that ball.
I said, bro, yo, you cannot play the next day. You can't play the next game.
Didn't they bring him in for defense? Wasn't that the reason why he went to play out there?
I don't think he was in the lineup.
Yeah, he came in to play defense, and that was the defense that he played.
Right.
Shout out to you, sir. Thank you for that win. If it wasn't for that, where would we have been in 2024?
I appreciate that. We'll go into the next one right here, and this one, sir,
it's another team that we like to beat. Right,
this one is funny because Yankee fans I guarantee you, they were already popping bottles right before this fucking that bad happened, because they said
and Met fans were nervous as hell. Met fans were praying.
I was clenching my ass cheeks, AP. Brother, when I tell you I was on the verge of it wasn't gonna be good for Jake Diekman.
Diamonds were being made.
You see how Met fans made Carlos Carrasco deactivate his social media accounts when he had a bad start? Jake Diekman was on that timing. Jake Diekman was on that timing. They had to put a paper bag over that brother's head to walk him into Citi.
I mean, this is probably Diekman's
highlight moment.
His
signature
golden moment in the major leagues.
Yep. But we'll instead of us talking, we'll let people we'll let them
relive it yourselves.
Yankee fans, man. Shout out to the Yankee fans, man.
Nah, never. No shout outs to you.
This is great. Oh man,
We got Juan Soto,
he took the boat across town.
family in Queens.
Shout out to the Sweets.
Yep.
In each of his last 4 games against the Mets, but the Mets have walked it 4 times in a row tonight. 2-2. Got him looking! Jake Diekman pounds a fastball on 2-2, and he gets Judge for the second out. Wow!
I still cannot believe that he got out of that inning. Like, what was Judge waiting for? Like, I feel like Judge was trying to get a walk. Like, I don't know what Judge was looking for. But now, I don't think Jake Diekman could throw that pitch like 2 times in a row.
No. I think Aaron Judge is a smart enough hitter to be like, throw that shit again. Throw that shit again. I
don't think Diekman even knew that shit was going there. Like, I really think that Diekman got like the spirits of baseball just said, all right, we're gonna give you one. Because when I saw that ball where it was at, I was like, whoa. Like, I could not believe that he got it like right on the line. That's crazy.
Dude, and for the umpire to count that, sometimes these
in
umpires
Yankee Stadium. In Yankee Stadium.
These umpires,
against Aaron Judge. Like, that was huge.
These umpires be missing a lot of these calls, man. He could have called the ball on that. We could have been flipping the fuck out. Like, that's how bad it could have.
Very true. All of this is very true.
That's how bad it could have been. That's one of those wins I was like, yo, Carlos Mendoza looks like a genius. Because he put him
even though we were like, somebody get this man off the mound. But no,
get him off my team. Don't put him back on this roster ever.
And he didn't last very long after that. Like, I think he was released like a week or 2 after.
And then he was done.
That was his moment in the sun.
He said, "If I'm
gonna leave to you, Diekman, wherever you are."
He said, "If I'm gonna leave a lasting impression, it's gonna be against this fool."
Well,
yo,
wherever you are, you always got that strike.
Let's put a banner in Citi Field.
Oh man, put your ones up for Diekman. Oh man.
Yo, I bet you that brother's laughing at Aaron Judge after he dropped that fly ball.
Oh Lord, he's like, "Yo,
I don't mean to
got you, man."
I don't mean to turn that into a thing, but have you seen the memes of the ball drop
of Judge? Yeah. No, that was. I mean, I thought that was classic. The internet is an interesting place when it wants to.
It's an evil place, yo. They will never forget you.
If ever they use their talents for good, but no,
that's what it is. Yep, they always use it for the purpose.
Oh man.
Oh,
whatever happened to the Yankees. I'm glad that happened to you guys. Whatever.
Hey, listen, they gave us shit for Luis Castillo missing that.
Yeah, that was. So, I mean, yeah, no, the World Series is a lot worse. So
yeah.
A meaningless game.
Yeah, they were winning the game too. They were up 5-0. I just want people to realize.
Oh, well,
So, but enough of the Bronx. The Bronx.
We gonna do like Soto and leave the Bronx. Let's move on to something else.
We take boats out here.
We love our families on this side. All right, for this one, we actually got a tie for number 6, and it happened against the same team.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry, but your team took 2 very rough L's against the team from Queens.
Iman's high blood pressure was at an all-time high this year. I'm sorry,
man. Yeah.
Yes. But if you guys remember for those of you that know what we're talking about, we are talking about the 2 walk-offs that happened in that series. And granted,
I went to the day game one, so I was happy to be there. Yeah. My son was just oblivious. My 4-year-old son was just like, "Is it time to go?" I was like, "Yes, it is time to go." After that walk-off. But
Wicker said,
yeah.
All right, so we'll get into we'll play that one. And then we'll
but before that one, we have Alvarez coming through with one of his biggest hits of the season.
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you know what? We'll play that one first. Since that one happened first. So let's play that
one. Alvarez swings and he drives one deep left center field. Mullins looks up and it's out of here. Alvarez swings 3-0 and he wins the game for New York with a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th.
All right. Before we get to the other one,
Mhm.
would you, as his manager, have given him a green light 3-0?
Yes.
They were debating that, and I was thinking the same thing because I was like, he's not going to get a better pitch to hit.
You got to understand, you're Anthony Dominguez, Sir Anthony Dominguez. You got to throw him a strike. Can't walk him. And then on top of that, if you're Francisco Alvarez and you're Carlos Mendoza, this brother he was struggling.
He was
Right,
struggling
this is
a
why
lot.
that's so good, because he couldn't really hit. He wasn't really attacking fastballs going the other way. Like he really couldn't touch any fastballs. He couldn't really touch any breaking pitches. He was just struggling overall. So you have a situation where a fastball is going to be thrown to you. Now, mind you, you saw where he got that pitch. That was high in. He could have left that pitch alone and was like, yo, I'm gonna take the risk and see if he's gonna throw me something 3-1. No, he said, you know what? I'm gonna put the barrel to it and see what I could do.
Yeah, no, it was a perfect storm of things to happen, because you had a guy that was struggling and like he couldn't get out of his own way, and you basically had to throw him a strike at that point. So I think that was a perfect call.
You had to give him the green light. And listen, if he failed and he would have popped up or flat out, there's nobody you could put blame on besides Alvarez. You can't put blame on Mendy. Mendy gave him the green light. Anybody would have did it in that situation. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it's Twitter. Twitter is gonna find an excuse for everything. But I would have given it to him. It's still a young kid. You have to show belief in, and that's a great moment to get on a fastball that you have barely been able to touch, and look what he did with it. So that was a boost of confidence for the kid. And then on top of that, he was hitting the ball better in the playoffs than what he was in the regular season. So
he had a little bit of more confidence going into like the
Mark Vientos wise, but if you watch his at bats in the playoffs, he was making contact with the ball. He was getting base hits, man. So that could be something where it goes.
Hey, in that Philly series, he had some big hits.
Yes. The people don't really talk about it because again, Mark Vientos overtook his shot.
Wow. Mark was the beast of the playoffs.
The next one is where if I was an Oriole, I would want to fight. I would honestly just drop my glove and just be like, yo, we just gonna test it out. You can't be doing this to me. You just got traded to this fucking team and you want to be throwing your helmet like you were here since fucking day one. Now we got
2 walk-offs in that series. 2 walk-offs.
Now we gotta fight. Yeah. So this one, like, I love it because we always talked about, yo, we need to show attitude on this team. And when Jesse Winker got traded here, he did exactly that. And on top of that, look who gave it up. The same motherfucker that gave up the walk-off to fucking.
And these were big moments because it was in the heat of we were about to go on that West Coast trip.
Yeah.
We were playing the Orioles, who were like playing they were playing okay, but you know, they were first in their division. They were a playoff team. We were about to go on this West Coast trip. Like, everything was important, like, for us to make sure that we left on a positive note. Yep. And man, Winker set us off to the West Coast in style.
In grand fashion.
2 from Dominguez. And Winker strokes one deep left center field. Back goes Mullins near the wall. It's out of here! Jesse Winker's first home run as a New York Met is a walk-off shot in the bottom of the ninth. And the Mets do it again with the game-winning home run by Winker. They take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. Jesse Winker's second career walk-off home run, his first home run as a Met, coming in his 52nd at bat as a Met, as he goes the other way against Sir Anthony Dominguez, and the Mets take 2 out of 3.
I do got a question though, because I think this is very important to ask. If you're Sir Anthony Dominguez, what the fuck is going through your mind?
No, let me stop throwing that fastball. Like, I don't know.
Those weren't even fastballs.
Was the one
to Alvarez was yes. Sorry,
yeah.
The one to Winker wasn't. The one, I think that one was a change up or a slider.
It was just in a bad place. You're right. It was just in the wrong place. Like it was too much over the plate. But Winker, I really wanted the Mets to trade for him just because I wanted the Mets to have somebody with an attitude that everybody on the other team hated. And boy, did he do that.
Oh, brother. Even in the playoffs. Remember him and Willie Adames going back and forth.
He set the tone. He set the tone for that.
Yo, he was talking shit and just came out the blue. And I was like, yo,
man, I'll never forget that Milwaukee game 3 where he just broke his helmet next to Devin Williams. I was like, man, that was just
wow. Listen, sign him. I want him back.
Bring him back.
Bring him back. Bring him back. You need somebody that's gonna be like, yo,
Steve Cohen, if you're listening, bring him back.
Yeah. Yo, give whatever that brother wants. Whatever that brother wants. I'm sure
he has to be listening. He has special magical powers. Bring him back.
He got people in Twitter spaces listening to our shit. No, let's not. Come on, you watching this? You watching this on your regular day? On your regular day, you're like, yo, what bottom feeder Met content creators can I watch that don't know that I'm actually watching? Let's check this shit out.
We all know he has those like
he got
his ear to the streets.
He got connects. Come on, he part of the streets. He got his hood in him. He might be rich, but he got a little bit of hood in him.
100%.
You think?
I think he bagged his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
So he from Uptown? Come on, what was he doing in Uptown? On a cop sign, maybe? I don't know.
He chose indictment.
Right? His name's not even Steve. It's Stefan.
Yeah,
it's like Family Matters in here. That's like his cool persona, Stefan.
Yo, how you think Dominican say his last name? Coan?
Stefan Coan.
Tú sabes ese muchacho que
Stefan.
ese millonario que está allá, Stefan Coan.
Stefan Coan.
Yo, that's yo. Can you imagine the inappropriate jokes they be cracking about Alex?
Oh my God, I could see it as the Goming. Oh man. All right. Well, on that note.
Yeah. Next.
Number five. This one.
This is my favorite.
Yo, this game had me so tight. I wanted to throw my fist into the TV the whole game because I was like, yo, how are we getting no hit by this bum ass Blue Jay team? And on top of the fact that we're about to lose the series to the Blue Jays, all of this is driving me crazy. I'm like, yo, this is how you lose playoff opportunities. And here comes Lindor once again carrying the Mets.
Yep. Let's watch and enjoy the moment.
Run to end it. That's driven to deep right field, and a home run ends this no-hit bid. Linsanity! Francisco Lindor ties the game with a ninth-inning home run. As big a hit as the Mets have had all season. Francisco Lindor breaks up the no-hit bid and the shutout, and he ties the game with his 31st home run of the year, and it's 1-1 in the ninth.
You heard all those ands that Gary kept saying, and he did this, and he did that.
You get a card.
Oh my God. It was like Oprah up in there.
Yo, I'm not gonna. Yo, bro, I tell you, I've never yelled so loud until he hit that fucking.
I was like, oh my God. We needed that so bad. We needed that so very bad.
It goes back to our conversation before we started recording, man. They always find ways to shit on this man. Whether it's the contract, whether it's what he says. You remember last year when we were down in the shithole already? They were already talking about, oh, I didn't like his response to this. I didn't like his response to that. Why y'all care about what the brother had? Like, what do we care about responses? Like, is that dumb? Like,
they were just trying to find anything to shit on him.
But they still do. And it's like, it's gonna take this brother to retire from FS to be like, damn, you remember when Francisco Lindor was here? And you remember when Francisco Lindor did this? You remember when Francisco Lindor did that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna get to that point, and it's like, well, you should.
I think that this year, if nothing else, I think that this is the year that Mets fans truly got to appreciate Lindor on a higher level. Like, I think that they finally see what they should have been seeing.
What he's
from the
worth.
jump. They have a superstar that has the ability to take a team, put it on his back, and say, "Come on, let's go." And he led us to the promised land and got us into the playoffs.
Right. So there's just moments like that, man. We got more Francisco Lindor moments that are way higher than that one, but that one is one where you sit back and you're like, yo, the Toronto Blue Jays were about to fucking throw no hitter against us. And it took this man to be like,
I mean, I feel bad. I forget the name of the pitcher, man, but like that dude, two games in a row in the same week, carrying a no-hitter into the ninth and to lose them both on home runs. Yo, at that point, you just gotta be like, yo,
So let me ask you, who gets the Shaq in the Fool, him or Sir Anthony Dominguez?
Oh, well, you know what though? I gotta give it to Sir Anthony because Sir Anthony just gets like one inning and he didn't like do that shit. This dude carried this shit to the ninth, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Sir Anthony, like, yo, you got one job, like one inning, and your ass can't like, you know, stop it for one inning. No hitters get broken up all the time, but you know.
I mean, hey, let's not forget the Mets had a no hitter with Tyler McGill starting on the mound.
Yeah, that's
so hey,
I mean,
anything is possible.
To show it can happen to anyone.
Anything is possible.
Here's to you, McGill, in 2025.
Talk about another pitching banner on the fucking stadium.
Oh Lord, after somewhere like just worshiping his jersey.
Santana's like, yo, word, this is the shit y'all do. I give you your first franchise no hitter, and y'all can't get another, but y'all got it like this with this bum. Yo, come on, what are we doing? Oh shit. The next one that we want to go off to is a big win. Now, again,
Sunday Night Baseball.
Sunday Night Baseball one where a lot of people thought the Phillies were gonna come in and destroy us. That wasn't the case, right? That was not the case. Funny enough, I was there.
Odds were against us, right? Who was pitching that night?
That was the one and only Tyler McGill. So yeah, so
I guess Zach Wheeler, who we were like, yo, this pitching matchup does not favor us.
No, he cooked us. Like ever since he's gone to the Phillies, he has cooked us. Like,
he kept the notes. He said, word, I wasn't worth that money. Oh, yeah, I got you.
He cooked us. He has been everything that the Philadelphia Phillies have wanted him to be. Like that's a brother where you could shit on him for going over there. He has lived up to every expectation that the Philadelphia Phillies have put for him. He has answered the phone call. He has pitched great under pressure. Let's not deny that. But
he hasn't been really hurt. He hasn't been hurt like he was with us.
Right. But some way, somehow, that Phillies bullpen is saying, wait, you're pitching against the Mets? Oh, we're going to fuck this one up. We're going to fuck this one up. It tends to happen all the time.
We got the bounce from heaven on this one.
Yeah, yes. And yes.
I tend to think that we got somebody, we got Elliott that helped us with that one and kept that ball. Rest in peace to the dead. Kept that ball in the infield because I still can't explain how that happened.
I also do want to shout out the Cadillac Club because if that fence wasn't there, that shit probably still would have been a fair ball and they would have called that. So I just want to, if you look at the home run, you'll see what I'm talking about. Watch.
All right.
I'll play it right now and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about because I got it here. I got the whole highlights here. So you know what? We'll enjoy this moment here, right here, because I think it's worth just watching a little bit of that entire game because that game, you see how we felt when we were watching against the Minnesota Twins. Yeah, that's how this game kind of felt before the.
I don't want to talk about that.
Hey,
that was not one of the games that we were going to talk about.
We had to revert to putting coins in a cup and hoping that AP's son was gonna turn out to be Ken Griffey Jr. in the home run derby in the small thing in Citi Field, which was awesome by the way. Because I honestly
just wanted to get out of there. That's the thing with my son. He just wants to leave places. He doesn't want to be
play golf the whole time. He was like, "Wait, I see green grass.
I know home." Yeah.
So let's go into that one. We'll get into right about now, and we'll watch a little bit of the highlights again. As you see, Tyler McGill is starting for this game. So think about the nerves before this game started.
The fourth largest strikeout increase in baseball behind Luke Weaver, Kopech, and Griffin Jacks. How's he done it?
I think he's mastered a two-seam fastball, and a lot of times when you come up and you can throw the ball in the mid-90s, most organizations want you to cross-seam the ball. They want you to throw high, hard fastballs, and that just
want to put out there a two-seam fastball that never worked. Just want to put that out there. Just putting that out there because they make it seem like he's got he's got the most impeccable two-seam fastball in our fucking rotation. That shit never fucking worked. He never did. I just want to put that out there, man, because this is why ESPN gets so much fucking hate. This is why they get hate, because they glow shit like this up. I'd rather somebody on ESPN commentator say Tyler McGill is not worth a starting rotation spot in this rotation, even though
you are correct, sir.
Even though he had to be put there. I wish somebody would have said some shit because it's embarrassing.
it's never really suited him. A two-seam grip has always suited him much better. He's finally bought into it, throwing it more and more, getting more confidence.
And he's got to deal with the guy that is the king of leadoff home runs, Kyle Schwarber, 15 of them. Swing and miss. An elevated sinker at 96. 3 pitches and a punch out.
29 years of age is McGill. He faces Trey Turner. Pitch swung on, line towards left center field. That one is going to be down for a base hit. Taylor racing over to cut it off, and he's going to hold Turner to a long single. Well played by Tyrone Taylor in center, holding Turner to one base there.
Well, here comes Bryce Harper. That one gets all the way to the backstop. It didn't hit Harper, and into scoring position now goes Trey Turner.
3-2 the count. Now the pitch. In there, strike three called. He got him with a sinker. So Harper down on strikes. 2 men away. And Alec Bohm will be the hitter.
Bohm, 4 for 13 in the series, 2 hitless games and 1 4-hit game.
And Bohm over the head of Alonso. That's going to score Turner easily. And a Friday night redo for Alec Bohm as he delivers the first run of this Sunday night.
Zach Wheeler making his 31st start tonight, and those numbers are more than a cut above. He is probably the favorite to win the NL Cy Young.
Iglesias, though, with 2 strikes, sends a sweeper up the middle. And the hit streak continues now. 16 leadoff man aboard.
Been a long while since Zach
at City Field, but he looks at strike 3, 96 at the top of the zone with a 2-seamer.
There's a great fastball command.
Right there for Pete.
And Alonso goes down looking for out number 2.
Winker gives this one a ride. Castellanos though pulls up on the track.
Oh, thought the Winker got that one.
At 98 miles an hour. And Lindor and company have a seat, stays 1-0 after 1.
Oh, and this was the week that we had to go
third the last few days. He's batting 7th today against
This ball smoked into left center field, and it's going to get down. That sweeper was left up. It is cut off, heading to second. Vientos said he beats it in there with a double. A diving play by Rojas in center, and not good enough to get Vientos with an extra base hit.
2 men away.
So
and
close.
It'll be a 2-base hit for Vientos. Here's Tyrone Taylor. He's been swinging a good bat.
1-2 into the field of the glove of Vientos. The throw is not in time. We are tied at 1 on a clutch hit from Tyrone Taylor with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Fair ball, and it's an infield hit. Down to third goes Taylor on the play. That thing didn't travel more than 30 feet, and it'll bring up the Mets' hottest.
Been known for.
The Mets and Phillies remain 1-1, and Brandon Nimmo leads off the bottom of the 6th.
Look at this right
See?
here.
Driven deep to right off the
If
bat.
that was the thing, he would have caught that.
At the wall, it's over
If that was the thing, he would have caught that.
Brandon Nimmo delivers
He
the
would've
big
Oh, if it was back in the day where they had, yeah, you're right.
Grab a 2-1 lead and
He would've
send
caught that.
City
Because there was
Field
still
into
space
a
on that.
frenzy.
There's still space.
Brandon
Before
Nimmo
they added
has
that kind of
embraced all that is the OMG and the Mets and their
The OMG and
enthusiasm.
the Mets.
As the Mets have
So that's a moment in
got
that
2
game.
scoreless, in fact, perfect
Yeah.
innings from Phil Maton.
That was
good.
And
You wanna-
it's
you
fair
wanna take it to
ask,
the ninth?
Is Jose Buto still a 2-inning man?
Trey Turner picks up another.
When he's batting,
All 4, a 1-out walk. Now the tying man is on, Bryson Stott.
13 homers on the year for JT Realmuto. Already at second base without a throw is Stott.
Oh man, there was only
Swing and
one
a
out.
miss. They throw it out.
I remember that.
I
Yeah.
still don't know how that didn't go into the outfield.
Break for the Mets.
I've
It
never
hit the
seen that in my
base, and
life.
instead of ricocheting away, it stayed right next to
Yes,
Vientos.
that's where
Otherwise, it's tied.
And so Edwin now will face Cody Clemens. 2 out, 9th inning. 2-1 New York. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Put it in the Mets. The Mets have taken 3 out of 4 from the Philadelphia Phillies, and they
3
will
out
go
of
to
4
Atlanta
against the
with
Phillies.
a 2-game lead over the
without
Braves for a
Lindor.
3-game series beginning on Tuesday night.
Yeah, man. That oh, brother. And then you took 3 out of 4, and then you talk about doing what they did in the playoffs against them. That's crazy.
I feel like Philadelphia just like kind of
Just blew it.
I don't know, like they ran out of like gas by the end of it. Like
Yeah.
I guess they didn't really have a lot of motivation. They had the division wrapped. It was like a lot. And I feel like sometimes that could backfire on you. So like you have to go into the playoffs with a little bit of momentum. And I feel like they had like zero momentum at that point.
They just blew it. And I think it's one of those things where you're kind of looking at yourself like, if you're the Phillies, you gotta make some changes. I don't think you can go into this offseason with the same team. And I think it was one of those things where, like, so many Philly fans talk about how the Phillies are better, how they've owned us, and how we can never get over them. And it's just like it's kind of funny how that worked towards the end of the season. It's kind of funny how that shit worked. So, who knows how the Phillies are going to be this year? I don't know if they're still going to shop, Nicholas Castellanos or what they're going to do, but they got some interesting things to take care of, man. That must be a really bad one, because nobody gave us a chance against the Phillies. I promise you, they said nope. We're good. We are not. The Mets ain't getting past them, and they were wrong, man. They were wrong. But we'll get into number 3, and that is
Game 1, 61. On the last day of the season, where we had to go play in Atlanta the Monday before the playoffs.
I just laugh. I honestly just laugh. AP.
What a crazy game this was.
I laugh, man. Again, because it's against another team
that we love to beat.
It's like, bro, they love to talk so much shit. And now look, just bask in the moment, people. Just bask in the moment. Think about where you were at in this home run. By the way, when y'all see him swing, this is how you know his back was really fucked up. Look at the grimace he takes when he does his extension. Watch it.
And Lindor gets under one to center field. Harris going back near the wall, and it's out of here. Linsanity again. Francisco Lindor flips the script with a 2-run homer, and the Mets go in front 8-7. Oh, wow.
What a wild game that was.
Oh, boy.
Yes, brother. That's a moment. Listen, you talk about the one that we're going to talk about in a couple more minutes. That's a home run edged in history. Like you can never ever forget about that moment. That's a moment that I will forever talk about with my grandkids. If I ever have one, if I ever have some, like I will be able to have conversations with them and like, yo, you don't understand how important that home run was by a guy that we've all stood behind since he's been here. Like it just you can't write stuff like that.
I mean, that was a storybook. That was like a storybook ending to a season that should be like that should have ended with the championship. I'm still mad that we didn't get that championship, but that was magical regardless. Like I really think that was such an amazing season for a lot of those Met players, and it was so easy to root for them because they overcame so much. Even this game alone, we were getting like the bricks beat out of us by Atlanta. We come back on some crazy stuff in the 8th. We take the lead, and then we lose the lead, only to have Lindor give it back to us. And Diaz almost blew that shit again in the 9th, but somehow got the fortitude to close the shit out. And man, just I don't know. This game was a microcosm of the entire season. Like the like we're down, but we didn't quit on the season. We came back, then we got knocked down, and we came back again. We just refused to die, and this was like, and of course it was the MVP of the team that like led us to that win. So that was just a foreshadowing of what's to come in the next month because, well, in that month because it was October, but in the playoffs because you got to see a Mets team get a little bit of magic and became one of the most dangerous teams in all of baseball by being one of the final four in that playoff. So just a magical ride the 2024 season was. And then the last two games, our playoff games, that to us, I think, I mean, I could say for me, I'll speak for me, but I'm sure that you agree. These are games that we'll probably never forget, just based off how dramatic they were, and just like these are the type of games that Met fans remember for a lifetime, because it's one of those like you'll remember where you were when it happened.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Funny thing is, the next one that I'm about to play, I was there for that one. And you talk about goosebumps. That whole game was just like, bro, I'm talking about it took the energy out of you just because you didn't know. How many times did we leave runners in score position in that game?
That game, it was super frustrating because you kept saying, can we just get a hit? Can we just get one hit?
That's all they needed. That's all they needed.
Just couldn't get it until the man of the hour did it.
The Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Especially of the Mets.
Oh man, say no more, man. Say no fucking more. Oh man, a moment that I will never ever forget in my life, man.
Leverage to your most trusted arms. The 2-1. Lindor towards right center field. This one is back. It is gone! Grand slam! And Lindor puts the Mets on top. The biggest swing of the season for New York.
That's again, people talk about, like my grandfather was always saying, like, how is it that he wasn't like the emotions, like how he was able to keep it together? That's a brother that understood the magnitude of the situation. That's a brother that understood the mentality of, yo, job is not done, because the Phillies got hitters where they can rally and tie this game up.
I always felt like he wanted to keep his emotions in check in with the team too, because I thought that he didn't want to give the Phillies any type of like momentum or motivation to be like, yo, we want to shut them down. Like being even keel and be like, yo, and making sure everybody else was like, yo, the job is not done. Like that's a leader. That dude deserves to be the captain of this team. Like the Mets need to rectify that immediately. Because
put the C on his chest, man. Put the C on his chest.
On the man's chest. But that was the hit that sent us to the NLCS. And man, I don't think I've jumped that high since high school. So shout out to you, Lindor. You made me feel like a high school kid again after that one.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, dude. It's that we're just watching that live. And the funny thing is, there's so many moments that I've seen live, like walk-offs and big home runs, that you're like, yo, just right here, right here, right here. I didn't say that. I'm just watching. I'm just like, damn, I wonder what's gonna happen right now, because we haven't scored.
So you need to stop doing that. You need to just stop doing that and just watch.
You know, but the thing is, when I've done that, it's worked. I in that specific moment, I didn't do it. All I did was this. AP on my mom, bro. All I did was this. That's what I did. That's all I fucking did.
Well,
and I just watched, and I'm watching. I have my phone right here, and I'm just watching it like that. And he takes the swing, and the dude behind me is grabbing my shoulder. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!"
Then, I love those moments where everybody becomes friends. Like everyone's like, "I don't know you, but we're friends." Like that's
the two dudes next to me were the same way, because I was by myself. They had asked me, they're like, "Are you expecting anybody?" I was like, "No, I came here with myself." They were like, yo, you're a dope fan. I was like, bro, listen, I do this for the team. Bro. I don't.
We should talk about that. Like the fact that you go to the games dolo, like, and you're just cool, just zoning out, watching the game.
Listen, I've gotten made fun of because they've always said, bro, you need a girlfriend to take to these games. The problem is half these girls are not.
So like, yo, my wife doesn't like going to the game, so I don't know what they're talking about.
And again, I'm not gonna take my dog. Like, would you think this is? No, only person that's gonna remember these moments are me, unless again somebody.
Hey, and if you enjoy it, I've gone to movies by myself.
Me too. Hey, listen, AP, I don't find no embarrassment in that. I swear to God, I don't.
I used to think it was weird, but then I was like, yeah, but you don't go to the movies to talk. Like, you just go to watch. So, yeah, exactly. I guess I could see that. I've never done it, but I could see it.
And I find myself interacting with fans just near me. Like, it's just one of those things where they'll crack a joke and I'll start laughing and I'll look back. I'll be like, yo, that's funny. Then we just start interacting. Like, I just find myself doing it. Like, that's
really cool. I mean, I've never thought of it, but that makes a lot of sense. Like, you could definitely enjoy yourself just because you're gonna have the camaraderie with the other. Either you're having a shitty experience just like the person next to you, or you're having an amazing one. So that makes sense.
I think Jeff McNeil is not a fan of both of us.
Yeah, no, Jeff definitely did not like us during that Minnesota game. Shout out to you, Jeff. Should play the outfield when he was getting blown out.
Jeff was like, I never want to see these two brothers ever again. Get them out.
And we finally reached number one in our countdown. All right, I'm gonna start this off, but with my story about this game, because me and you actually were watching this together in Citi Field for the watch party, and the Mets are doing jack shit all game. Like, we're like not doing anything, and it's looking bleak. And I made a decision that, I don't know, like, I know that other people got on me for this, and I'm like, yeah, I was disappointed in myself, but I have to be real with you. At that moment, I couldn't sit there and watch it. Like, so I said in the bottom of the eighth, I was like, yo, I'm out. So I immediately said peace to you. I was like, I gotta go. I get on the 7 train, but even with that being said, like, I'll always do this because this is just me. I got up, left. I'm on the train, but I was like, yo, I can't. I didn't want. It was more like I just didn't want to be around anybody. If they were gonna lose, and the series was gonna be over, I wanted to be like by myself. Like, I just didn't want to like be around nobody. I just needed just to like say peace by myself. So I'm on the train and I'm like, yo, please have like another miracle. Like, I need you guys to like pull this off somehow. And I was like, let me just put on the radio. So I'm listening to the game on the radio. I get to Main Street. I'm walking on my block. And you get Lindor, he has a hell of an at bat. Then you get Nimmo get a hit. Then you get Pete Alonso, who has had a rough season in terms of coming up clutch. He hasn't had a good, like, it just wasn't up to his standards that he's had before. And you're just asking, dude, don't let the season end this way. Let us get a little bit more magic. And when I tell you that this man hit a home run that had me saying, no way, in the middle of the street, I'm literally in front of my building saying, oh my God, which is awesome because it's basically what defined the Mets. And I called my father like in the middle of that, and we're just like, I can't believe it. It, like, regardless of me watching it, but being able to hear how we call it on the radio, I think like there's these things happen for reasons, and I was just like ecstatic that moment happened for us, and I'm happy that you guys got to like watch it. But like, I'm also like, in a way, it was also it was meant to be. Like, I was meant to like hit up my pops at that moment and call him and just have that moment with him. And like I think that like especially like he's the one that introduced me to the team. So I take it as like, you know, like a silver lining and not watching it, but listening to it and being able to have that experience with him. Because I know that had it happened, I wouldn't have been able to call him with everybody screaming and everything. So, you know, maybe those are one of those things that I'll remember for that. But what a crazy game that got us into the divisional series.
Can I share before we get into that video? Can I share a moment where I had a random like yell out in front of a crazy like an entire crowd that looked at me like I was fucking high? Let me just show you just real quick.
It's going to be a problem on and off the rest of the season.
Turner drives one to center, chasing Nimmo back to the warning track right at the fence. He made the catch! Oh, wow! The catch of the year for Brandon Nimmo! He took a home run away from Justin Turner!
Wow.
Brandon Nimmo keeps the Mets in front in this game by bringing one back.
Oh, wow.
Well, Andy Chavez was here over the weekend. Brandon Nimmo doing his best Andy impression.
That is the finest catch of his career. Oh, wow. My. What a play. Bravo. Look at his break. He hasn't got time to really look at the wall. Oh, man, what a play.
All right, so Top, why'd you bring that video back up?
Oh, I brought it because even though it's not as sentimental as what you had with your dad, it's a moment where, number one, I was already pissed off because I had tickets to the game and I couldn't go. So I just want to put that out there. As I'm coming out of work and I'm trying to see, I'm like, yo, I know a security guard there, but I don't think he could get me in because I don't know if he's working in the stadium or in the front. Because if it was in the front, I could have just been like, listen, I got a ticket. Just let me go in for these last couple innings. I was like, fuck it, I'm not. Watching the game on my phone, whatever, and it's crowded. And I'm on the 7 train. This is what, probably by like 8 something, 9 something. So this shit's crowded. I'm coming from work from the city. And I just remember just watching that. And it happens, and I'm like, Justin fucking Turner, of course. Who else, right? Justin fucking Turner just fucking took the lead. Whatever. Where this shit's gonna fucking get me mad. Yo, when I tell you Brandon Nimmo robbed that shit, and all you heard was on the train. Everybody thought that somebody was getting hurt.
Oh my god,
bro! Have you seen that? Have you seen that thing in Spider-Man where he's getting carried on the thing, but like everybody's
everybody's carrying Spider-Man,
wait, because they thought somebody was on the floor, they got hurt. And I was so red because I was so embarrassed because everybody was looking at me, even though I'm the one that did the motion. And I was just like, yo, it's one of those things that moments like that, it doesn't matter where you're at. Well,
let me tell you, on these trains, you're not gonna get treated like Spider-Man. So
no, right, especially now. But still, it's like it's one of those things where you're like, yo, it doesn't matter where you are. They'll have moments like that where whether you're with somebody that you're close to that has grown up with you being a Met fan or not, or you're by yourself, and something just happens, you can't hide that emotion because you're so invested. For such a long time. And just understand your thing where it's like, you know, even though it's not as sentimental, you know, as with your father, that moment of you being like, yo, I want to be able to call him and just have that sentimental moment where not everybody's around. At the time, I was like, yo, what the hell is wrong with AP? Like, he just missed like,
I just couldn't do it. Like, I didn't like the season.
Chris, I swear to God, me and Chris looked at each other like, yo, did he just leave?
Yeah. I couldn't wrap my mind around the season ending. Like, it just too much had happened that I was like, yo, the season ending like this just felt like wrong, you know? But, you know, like, and I was glad that they proved me wrong. That's why they say never leave games early. But, you know, like I said, like, things happen for reasons. And I usually don't leave, but, hey, things happen for reasons, and that was one of them. But, yo, Pete, This was your moment, man.
Let's enjoy this moment one more time. Listen, we
Come back. Just sign the contract, Pete.
just based off this, give him his money. That's it.
Just come back already. Just stop fronting. Like, let me check Twitter. Did he sign?
I'm about to check to say. Can you imagine, bro? We doing this.
All I'm getting is Port Authority pushed through the stupid. Yeah, that's great. That's all I got. Port Authority toll increase. Thank you.
I heard about that. Let's not talk about that.
$16. Holy crap!
Let's not
all right. Well, anyways, let's not talk about that.
We'll go to a different port that made it an authority to give us the lead in this game. And
all right, that was a nice try.
Lindor at third, Nimmo at first. The pitch. Swing and the ball drilled. Right field. Frelick back at the wall. Out of here! It's out of here! Alonso, an opposite field home run, and the Mets had the lead. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, takes Devin Williams deep. And here in the ninth, the comeback.
It was so quiet.
Again.
It was so quiet. You could hear them celebrating.
Brother, oh my goodness. That, I'm telling you, the funny thing is a story to that. I think I said it, where I got the notification like literally.
You told this one, but tell him.
Like, bro, that's crazy.
He got the notification before, and he was like holding it back from everybody because he didn't want to ruin it at the watch party.
If it was up to me, brother, I would have yelled it out right before it happened. I would have just been like, "Let's go, everybody!" I'm like, "What the fuck are you yelling at?"
And to redeem myself in the story, the Mets. I did go to the next watch party with my wife and my son, and I stayed in that one. And the Mets came back and beat Philly in that game 1. So I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay true, and I'm gonna stay here. I'm not gonna do this again." And they came back and won. So I got to see them win one at City during those watch parties. But yeah, that was a magical one. The Magic Ride of 2024, like, I don't think out of all the seasons that we didn't win, that was one of the most magical ones that, like, I sit here, and Howie Rose was right. Like, after like the sadness of them not winning, like, thinking back on the year, it was really a dope year. Like, it was really like a really cool year. And listening to the Evan Roberts podcast, Rico, which was awesome. He talked about comparing this year to I think he compared it to 1999, and I was like, yo, that's a really good comparison, because the Mets went to the NLCS in that year too. That was the year where Atlanta was whooping their ass, and we pushed it to Game 6. And in that Game 6, we're in Atlanta. Mike Piazza comes back. We're winning that game. We ultimately lost it. Thank you, freaking Kenny Rogers and your dumbass pitching. But like, it felt like it like that year came out of nowhere, and this year is pretty much the same. If that is a foreshadowing of things to come, the following year, 2000, we went to the World Series. Now I want to win it, so I would like to win the World Series going forward. Yeah. But we went to the World Series the following year, so like, I think that it would be awesome to for the Mets to build off that. Like, I think that this year was very special for so many reasons. We fought back. We had so much heart. It felt like we were playing the playoffs every single night from August on. You could tell the fans, like, the anxiety with every single, like, we were living and dying off every single pitch. Like, it was very stressful. Like, this is why it was hard at times to watch, because to me, I wish I would have enjoyed it more, but it almost felt like the stress of it. Like, I was like, by the end of it, I was like, man, just finish this game. I can't take this anymore. Like, it was like that game too in the NLDS against Philadelphia, where we were winning and then we were losing and then we were winning again. Like people, like my mom, who doesn't even watch baseball, was like, yo, this is too much. I was like, yo, I was like, it was brutal. Like, it was rough at points where you were just like, yo, this is too much. So sometimes it became, I didn't enjoy it as much because it felt like it was the level of stress was like through the roof. But looking back on it now, like I was very happy to have seen the Mets fight like that. It felt very organic. It felt like this was an easy team to root for. And I don't know, like I really did like I really did have like moments in there where I was like, wow, like I can't believe we pulled those out. Like, wow, those were like moments that like I still like moments like the Murphy home run in LA in 2006 when he hit that home run, or he had that smart like base run to third
Oh, you
base.
smart.
Like,
2015.
was it? Oh, I'm sorry, 2015. Yeah, what am I talking about, Murphy? Yeah, 2015, like in LA. Or the 2006 where they got those 2 outs, and the Dodgers boneheaded running in Shea Stadium. Like, there's so many moments. Like, there's things like that you just remember, or like the Andy Chavez catch, or like like that grand slam single in 06. Like so many, no, 06 and 99. See, I'm messing up my years, but you know what I mean. Like, I just think that like there's so many like moments like that that you could point to in this year alone, that's why we had to have this recap, because this year had so many of those magical moments that it deserved to be revisited. And I hope that like if you're listening or watching this, whatever, that you're there with us and you're like thinking back and you're smiling because you're thinking back like, yo, this was a dope year. It didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but like that's life. Like sometimes that's gonna happen. But I loved it because there was no time in this year that the Mets gave up, and I think that that's important. We got to remember that it's not always gonna be easy, but if we fight, there's there's something magical about putting up a fight, even if you don't win. Like, and I think that that's what the Mets did this year.
Right. I think again, it's where expectations were at, right? They had no expectations of us getting to where we got to. For them to fight the way they did, the way they start the way they did, and then to come back and do that, and then to get 2 games away from a World Series, like you can't write those things. That will forever be, everybody talks about the 1986, 1999, 2000 team, the 2006. The Mets put another team in history that you will forever talk about. You know what I mean? We try to forget about the bad ones. We try to forget about, we try to talk about the good ones, 2015 or whatever. 2024, that team is going to be talked about as one of the most funnest years because there wasn't so much expectations being put on that team and they passed it. Now, obviously going into 2025, it's different when you bring in a Juan Soto, but I think that makes it fun now because now you're looking forward to making the playoffs again and trying to rewrite the story and trying to go get the gold this time. So, I think it's going to be even more fun now that we got a superstar guy here who, in my opinion, I think he's always wanted to be here. He may not come out and say it, but there have been, the way he plays in Citi Field, certain things that he likes when it comes to social media posts, when it comes about the Mets, you know what I'm saying? What he has said about the New York Mets. So it's going to be fun, man. But 2024 is the year I will never forget. I've been to some memorable games. We've seen so many memorable games, and just the way that they fought and got to where they got to. I think me and AP were so excited to talk about the top 10 moments that we thought were important because we don't want people, as much as people are looking forward to this offseason and what they're still going to do and how they're going to play going into 2025, we don't want you guys to forget about what we just witnessed last year that put us in this position to, try to win a division now and go get a superstar like we did. So that was fun, man. I do appreciate that. Shout out to AP. He came up with the idea, and I was like, of course, on board. And we had to come back with another video, man. We took a little small break because of the holiday, but holiday is over. Everybody's back to the regular schedule program. So we back with more content. 7 Express is going to be bigger and better than ever. 2025 is going to be a big year, not only for the Mets, but for the content creators that like us that give you guys a lot of opinions based on on the Mets. So we appreciate you guys for listening and tuning in. We got more dope content coming your way, man. And just keep tuning in, subscribe, follow, share, do everything you got to do on social media, and keep supporting the brand, man. I do appreciate you. Thank you, AP. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, and for one final time for the 2024 Mets, LFGM.
Yes, sir. Oh my God. But
oh my God.
With that being said, we will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.